you want to get to know the way somebody really feels, like truly feel, like a truth serum about certain things. For example, political issues. For example, the matter of intimate partner violence. Okay, you want to get to the bottom of everybody's truthful feelings about the topic called intimate partner violence. So they used to have like very big, like total drunkenness, excess amounts of wine in the evening, and they start talking about this matter, and they keep on drinking now too. So when the more they drink, the more they get they're unable to like contain or like mask their true feelings about a topic, and they speak it out, and then of course it's offensive to each other, but then they sleep it up next day, and then on the next Monday or so they try and come to a solution. Now that they know that how everybody feels about certain things, they try to come to a solution. They have the truth, the true feelings. That's why in China too, if you're going to do business with people, they make you drink. Why is that? You can't do business in China unless you drink, because they want you to see how you truly feel from your gut, from your inside, because you are unconsciously. How do you feel about things, like who you are and all that. So when you want that to do it, that's when you drink. That is the purpose of alcohol. We have forgotten the purpose of alcohol. The purpose of alcohol is to suppress the consciousness. Your conscious being. Like you're not going to hurt somebody or do something wrong when you're perfectly sober. The likelihood is very low because you're unconscious. You're fully in a conscious state. You are like Hank Williams, or you are like Mr. Gordon Conwell, that fine singer on the stage and singing to you and entertaining you, and you're paid tickets and money for to see. You are that person when he is in control of his consciousness. But when he, as soon as he starts drinking, and he's reached like 3 or 4 drinks, and something kicks in, and he like gets triggered with that to something that happened in his childhood, and that little baby in triggers, it's a different person that jumps out, and you have a different person over there. That is the nature of alcohol. It brings about your subconscious. Now, we can judge a subconscious to be bad and beastly. It does not abide by your petty rules. Like, what are your rules, and your rules can go stop themselves. It goes by different things. It is sort of bare essence. It is in the true, it's like an essence of being. It's a matter of survival, living, pain, pleasure, um, perpetuation, like getting it, it is not. That's the difference between being conscious, acting in consciousness, in full consciousness, and the difference between acting with just based on your unconscious, with your conscious turned off. Alcohol, that's what alcohol does to you. It takes off your conscious. That's why even people who are supposed to be executed executions, I was watching a program on death penalty, and the reason and the merits of death penalty. I think intimate partner violence, we should make it standard, man. Death penalty, like because it's the same. This is like serving a life sentence. Maybe I stopped counting. It's past 17 years, but still, even though I've identified the reason, I've fixed my problems, I stopped drinking, I did like a 27-day program in intimate partner violence. I'm even so advanced, I would say I can take a teacher. Isn't this like a program in getting to the solutions to the intimate partner violence? The two things. One is communication. Fundamentally, one thing is communication, and the other thing is what is communication? The fundamental thing about it is communication. There is there, of course, okay. Then the hot buttons, and we also you wouldn't really believe it, but we all naturally communicate that way. Communication is of essence, but what are the different forms of communication? One is the passive, the aggressive, passive-aggressive, and aggressive. So the legal system only gets to see the aggressive side of your communication. It does not be able to see your passive communication. It does not get to see your passive-aggressive communication. It does not get to see your. It cannot perceive it. You cannot perceive passive-aggressive behavior. Can you? Can you replicate it in this quote? But when you're drunk, your perception or your thing is tainted. All those the solution. Getting back to the centripetal force about solutions. Solutions, first of all, is do not drink too much, or especially like big spirits, because it makes them very rowdy, and it brings out cuts out the conscious behavior. Like even the executioners, they have to drink a whole lot, because the thing of taking somebody's life is like, you might think it's in the movies and all, it's just take a gun and shoot. No, it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life, my friend. People don't forget like when they kill something. Unless you're, of course, like a butcher or Maple Leaf Farms or something. It takes a whole lot of things. So drinking. Also nowadays, alas, looking at the girls are binge drinking too. I think some army girls were telling me that there's always red wine flowing like water. Like red wine is water. Yeah, the constant state of intoxication. You really can't function without alcohol. Wine has been legitimized. You drink more wine than Henry VIII. So if you want to talk about intimate part of violence, you got to fix your alcohol around you. And it gets like really nasty. Again, maybe alcohol consumption. Some people have it right. Some people are lucky that they can consume alcohol. I'm not telling you not to consume alcohol. I'm just saying that alcohol is not for me. Some people are lucky, they know how to manage alcohol well. Some people, they're in denial that they can't, and some people just cannot. People talk about responsibility. That responsibility vanishes after the first little sip passes your throat, gullet. It's like Newton's law of cooling. This is like Henry's law of responsibility. It's like an exponential curve that drops. Consumption of alcohol x-axis and responsibility on y-axis. And your first sip you take like bzz, it goes and drops. Sack. Intimate pair well. First step, sister. They will be worshipping the Budweiser and expressing your Michelob ads. Yeah, as a password. How would that be like a good password? Would you like the password Michelob ads? Yeah, you're getting a little too hot, like in the most low hats. If your whole relationship and your own connection with your friendship and your lover and your boyfriend, it has to be have the third girlfriend and thing with alcohol always there, then there's a sure likelihood you're going to be expressing and experiencing your intimate partner violence. Now, that is one thing. Alcohol is there. If you have any doubts about alcohol, you experiment with it. Take it out of your life and put it back. So you, I noticed because when I went through, I was in BC, British Columbia. I went to one of the treatment centers. So there was 25 men in the room. So I looked at them. Like pretty much everyone's life was the same, like the same thing. So then I was resistant. Like I am not going to go for alcohol. I know go for alcohol. Like how can you do that to a man? Like that's like a real wrong man. But then towards the end, they're like slowly. It's like the program is based on the North Korean brain sanitation, sanitizing workstation program. So it's like the 17 weeks. Use the same methodology. So when you might have resistance within, but you will be sanitized. Well, you only wish that it was so true, no, because that the program has a failure rate. It has like almost, again, statistically speaking, it has only like a 40% success rate or 20% success rate. You find the repeat customers all the time, every time. Why? Because alcohol is so prevalent. Alcohol, people can't like resist the damn thing. They can't you live without it, and they can't function without it, and their romance doesn't exist without it, and their, their life is so intertwined with alcohol that they're repeat customers. And fortunately, thanks be to God and Allah, I have been free of alcohol for around quite some time, more than 15 years. So I'm one of the statistics that has passed that test. Where the program was successful. The North Korean brain sanitizing program of substance abuse management. If you're going to abuse a substance, how to manage your abusiveness nature of substances around you. Are you abusing that poor little thing called alcohol? And then further on, I had done a program called, what's that wonderful, beautiful program? Yeah, Intimate Partner Violence Prevention Program based on the North Korean methodology of brain sanitization. Proven. We have a sitting psychologist that will rub it into you, make you write stuff out, have a quiz, and you will attend this thing for 27 weeks of your life. You will stop doing everything else. You will like stuff you carry, and you will follow this program because you are guilty of telling the post, and now you're as fat as a cow. even though she has a problem of getting weight. Communication deserve more. Communication styles are broadly defined into from what I learned was mostly that is what I learned is broadly defined into aggressive, passive aggressive, and assertive. Yeah. So the long and short of it is assertive communication. If someone calls you like a fucking bitch and you don't like it, you better say so. Because if you don't like it and you like suck it up and you let it go right at the beginning, then that fucking bitch is going to change into something more, and it's going to increase, and it's going to increase, and it's going to increase. So that is being assertive. It's expressing yourself. Rather than being passive aggressive, passive aggressive or passive is passive behavior good behavior? You tell me, is it a good behavior to be passive? Well, it is being passive is you have to be like you're a perpetual have no say. While it might look like wonderful in the legal system of this person like a perfect victim all the time, or passive, but what we really find with most of these situations over here in intimate partner violence, the issue is passive aggressiveness. The issue is the failure in communication. The intimacy is based on what's it based on? Poor communication. The whole program, they teach you about like how to rephrase your conversations with each other, and you will be more surprised. Like most of it, like what's the number of intimate partner violence? 40%. 40% of people, the communication is passive aggressive. So it is being like an aggressive person, like an intensely aggressive person, just in passive actions. You understand it? Because all of us have a bond with that rebel kind of situation. So if I ask you to brush your teeth, you're saying, going to say, no, I am not going to brush your teeth. But that is not you don't take the toothbrush and stab me in my eye. That would be aggressive. But your passive aggressive thing is not to brush your teeth. That is your response. That is what a passive aggressive response would be. Again, that passive aggressive response is not provable in the court of law, because where it's vanished. Like what the person, the court of law is only based on what your actions are. No, it's not what your actions are not. Suppose you tell you not to do something, you will do it. And again, the way the passiveness comes in is not saying that I want to do it, I need to do it. Being assertive, that's part of what I am. I need to be being truthful about it. About saying that no, if I don't do that, I'm really not going to feel who I am. That's the nature. It's like, what's that Whitney Houston song? I like Whitney Houston song. Changing all the colors. I'm never going to change my colors for you. Yeah, why would I want to change my colors for you? And why would you want to like me to begin with? you want to come around over here and change all my colors and feather them and make them into your colors. Intimate partner violence is endemic. Tomorrow you're going to listen to Mr. Matt Galloway talking on CBC radio. We're going to talk about intimate. You say most of CBCs, they only get the story about the victim, about the suffering, about the flashback. The story about the flashback, again, that flashback is never provable. You can't prove it in the core thing. So when somebody says the thing, the way they feel, everybody has a right to express and feel the way they feel. They make claims about the way they feel, and they can claim to feel that way for the next 100 years, and you can't do jack about it. Like you can claim flashback, you can claim flashback for the next 300 years. For the next 300 years, Japan and Korea is feeling the flashback of all the victimization of the intimate partner violences that they expressed. So that can be forever. So that is the life sentence we're talking about. The talks about intimate partner violence. You can use flashback, like India uses flashback. The British, Queen Victoria, and all the way they used on abused our people. We're getting flashback every 15th of August since 1957. We get flashback every Independence Day about all the miserable things and the evil. Like, look at what they did. Did you see they hung that man from the tree? From the mango tree, they put the mango tree up and they put a rope around it and they hung that man right under the favorite mango tree. You're getting flashback. So, so how about talking about solutions, my friend? This, there's another wonderful solution that I've been thinking about, or that I've been practicing also for a little while, is celibacy. Yeah, celibacy is like, what is the safest form of sex? Celibacy. Celibacy. Yes. So one of the real proven solutions for intimate partner violence is celibacy. I would like highly recommend it to all the fine people, the 40% of passive aggressive communicators and 40% of the drinking. That's why I think the monks in olden days used to make the alcohol, because they also had to practice celibacy. Nothing intimate with anybody, because you are the maker of mead. You're like a mead person. Very mead. Friar Tuck. Friar Tuck is full of mead, and he's a very mean man, but he's full of mead. Fundamentally, this division is about. So, intimate partner violence is really not a good thing. It's a very thing to be very shameful of. I'm very shameful that I've been found guilty by this legal system. It's not a thing to do. It shouldn't be done. No form of violence. That's why any kind of form of violence you have to have like a subconscious that is like a conscience. You, it's like an altered state of mind when people do it. That's why the executioners and all, they have a swing before doing it because you don't want to really take life. Taking life is very, very difficult because the same spirit of life is in the other person too. Your conscious, your subconscious feels it. Your being feels it, or your consciousness feels it. And to drown out that, you take alcohol. That's why the samurai, they drink alcohol before going to war. Alcohol is a war drink. It's a drink that makes you do. It's a war drink, and it's also makes you loose, makes you like more carnal. It's a drink to be more carnal. So the carnal sins, carnal sexual, it brings out the carnality, the beast in you. So, that's why you become very sexually promiscuous if you're alga, if you're a girl, or if you're the again gender has become very fluid now. So if you sprout estrogen and you drinking, you're gonna become like very promiscuous. Because usually if you sprout estrogen and you're very selective and very cautious and very feel very embarrassed about any kind of advances when you are not intoxicated. But when you are intoxicated, all those safeguards and those measures and the barricades and barriers that you create are all washed away, like washed red wine, white wine, Chardonnay, Sobrioni, all rosé, everything like Argentinian wine, all kind of California wine, box wine, everything that washes them barriers away. It makes you play it into like a ha 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 ho ho ho. That is the truth. That is the purpose. That's the nature. That's how it's been used within. Because most people find it very hard to express themselves like sexually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and all without the aids of alcohol. And that is what alcohol is being used for. That is what it's called. That is the way. That's the real purpose of alcohol. People talking about relaxing and chilling and everything. That is what it is. It's the ability to. Otherwise, you don't have the ability to talk. You want to like make out with your phone. Yeah, that's what you become, making out with your phone. Because your phone, it never rejects you. Your phone's like a puppy. So you come to me, I'll tell you this. What do you want to see? YouTube? You want to see Instagram? Anything you want to see, I do for you. I never reject you, my darling. I love your face. Show me your face. I have facial recognition up my wazoo. I can think. I know your favorite color. I know your mummy's knickers. I love you. People on their phones. So the solutions, the long and short of the solutions are remove alcohol or extra intoxications because that will lead. Where is the violence coming? Everybody's going to disagree. You're not going to 100% agree with any kind of person on this earth. You're not going to agree 100% with what I have to say. So it is to be nature. Human beings do differ. Human beings do not agree. Human beings have to get to know a person, you know their hot buttons, you know their cold buttons. That's why it's called intimacy. So what really is the key factor over here is the loss of control, the total loss of control. When is it most likely to have loss of control? Is when you are impaired, when you are under the influence, use under the influence, especially a substance that is supposed to be a drink of war. That's why the army and military they always have alcohol flowing because they have to commit heinous acts. Like a person who dropped the bomb on Hiroshima is not like a happy, like carefree man eating his peanut butter sandwiches on Saturday listening to opera. Is he now? Nah. Same with the executioners of England. They too all had like various alcohol consumption problems. So the solution is, if you have experienced intimate partner violence, it's because of the failures of legislation around alcohol. It is for the snuffing out of the temperance movement and the replace of it by this concept that drinking alcohol is the natural, God-given thing to do. Yep, it is. As soon as this person turns 18, how do they turn 18? By getting themselves piss drunk. Or I wonder, what is the legal age to consume alcohol? I wouldn't know because I don't really, I'm not into the field. But it is, whatever age it is, they get drunk. And that's the way they get introduced to becoming adults. And they're most likely to do all kind of wrong things. You're going to get yourself intimate with somebody. And the intimacy happens around alcohol. Excuse me. Now people say just blaming alcohol for all your things, actions is not really going to cut it. Yeah, but there's other thing as a likelihood, with this, it's just a spark. There's no fire, but where there's fuel, there sure is a fire. Like where there's wood, there's fire. As long as the fuel for any kind of escalation in a disagreement, in hurt feelings, in unaddressed issues, in touchy points, in hot buttons, in the expressions of passive aggressive behavior, is the culmination of loss of control. That control is not lost when you are not under the influence. Under influence, you either put up with the people, or you kind of go away, or you let it go, or you like a smiley face, or you like passive, or you think. But under the influence, you are like a different person. You ain't taking it. If someone presses your heart button, you're going to go and like express it to them and teach them the meaning of pain. I think that's what happens is, if you are under the influence of any alcohol, somebody touches your raw nerve or they do the wrong thing to you. Yeah, that's what that man was in talking about smart recovery. Why did he stop drinking? He was like a biker. The biker guy, he was saying that he got drunk and then another drinking, somebody did something, somebody touched the wrong nerve of him. You like beated them like too badly, like very, very, very badly. And beating them so badly, it is not even really warranted the claim. Like, the punishment that he punished those people were for what they did was not like equal to. It was too much. It was too much for something very little. And so that's the reason why he gave up alcohol. So that's what it is. It's about losing control. Now, if you don't, then you're most likely to lose control when you're drunk or other kind of substances. I'm not a specialist with drugs because I don't know too much of drugs. But altered this, if your whole relationship is based on the depth of consumption of alcohol and you need some alcohol to loosen up and all that crap shoot, then you are in that 40% that is most likely that you are going to face intimate partner violence. And the other thing that would be advisable is work on your communication. Like it's a free world. Like they say, isn't there plenty of fish and mighty fish and big fish and all kind of ass fish and all that. So be assertive in your communication. If you don't like Mr. Ugly, then say that you don't like Mr. Ugly. But if you're going to tolerate Mr. Ugly just because of his money and then get intimate with him, and then after that you use it, and now you have a hook to all his money, all his time, all his wealth, all his life. Why? Because of the intimate partner violence program. That leads me to another. Again, I'm thinking about solutions. We are we are destroying ourselves and destroying human beings based on this thing. First, we give them to drink. When they act drunk, we're going to punish them, and after we punish them, we're going to make them pay for the rest of their life, and we're going to also make a whole bunch of money and taxation based on the substance of alcohol that we are pimping to our citizens, and we are setting them, and it's like alcohol is a drink of war, and we're going to make our citizens drink it. Alcohol usually used to flow when the military, maybe what school in the military, it becomes school. Even nowadays in many colonies, like the alcohol, like military people, they have no tax on alcohol. So most of the alcohol that costs is all taxation. So 15 bucks for a packet of six pack. I forgot, like I don't have any touch with it. 15, 16, 20, whatever it costs. That's all tax. If you go to Chicago, it's like $6. Because why? Taxation is different over there. Costs the same, like the same Canadian alcohol, the same freaking Labatt Blue here. It'll be like 14, 16, 17, 1900 bucks or whatever. Over there is going to be like 6, $7. Why? It's all taxation. Those are some of the solutions for intimate partner violence prevention, and such as my thoughts. We really have, as a society, we have forgotten the purposes of certain substances. Like, what is the reason why people drink? What is the reason why people drink? The drink alcohol is a ritualistic substances in ancient times. When you want a medium or a spirit or something to suppress the consciousness and only interact via the subconsciousness, that's why they get very highly intoxicated. Likewise, the berserker in Nordic cultures. You know the berserker. Have you looked it up in Nordic culture? When in Nordic wars, the berserker, he, he has to wear on an animal skin, like a animal head, like a wolf skin on top of his head, or or a bear skin on the top of his head when he's going to war. Why is that? Because he's heavily under the influence of alcohol. Like he's like totally pissed out of his brain. He's like Zulu, Arak, Guramba drunk, moonshine drunk, like Dixie moonshine drunk with Jim Beam. You can call him like Jim Beam with like an animal hide on his head. So that way, even his own compatriots, the people who are fighting on his own side, they know to stay the hell away from him because he does not know foe from enemy, good from bad. He is just on a rampage. He's on a berserk. He's gone berserk. Yeah, like even David is to go berserk in fighting the wars. Have you seen David fight? What was the thing they say? David killed so many people. Saul killed 100. David killed 100,000. Whatever. So, anyway, so it's possible to go berserk, and alcohol does that to you. So you should watch your alcohol consumption because it is that's what is a drink of war. We're talking about serving responsibility and all that. There's no such thing. People, once they do it, they can come home, they can get stuff themselves with alcohol. And it's part of, especially in it used to be in Canada. It is in Canada the way it is. The lifestyle is all around alcohol. Happy time, good time, and all everything's holidays, everything's based on alcohol. So it's nowadays even other third worlds like India and Sri Lanka and all those places that didn't only consume alcohol like ritualistically or to take away the pain at the end of